Welcome to Passport Meets World, the show where solo travel meets self-discovery. I'm Elizabeth, your guide on this journey to explore the world while diving deep into the connections between travel and mental health. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or dreaming of your first solo trip, this podcast is here to inspire, empower, and remind you that adventure doesn't just change your scenery, it changes you. Hello and welcome to Passport Meets World. Today I want to talk about the misconceptions of solo travel. Something I think a lot of people get hung up on when it comes to solo travel is the idea that it has to be this huge, extravagant, social media worthy experience. The kind where you quit your job to backpack through Europe for 6 months, or book that dreamy overwater villa in the Maldives. And hey, if you're able to do that, I'm cheering you on. But the reality is, not everyone has the time, money, or even the desire to plan something that big. And here's the good news. Solo travel doesn't have to be extravagant or Instagram perfect to be meaningful. Smaller adventures like a weekend getaway or a short road trip can be just as impactful. Let's start with the elephant in the room. The image of solo travel we see on social media, it's often portrayed as this life-changing experience where you leave everything behind to find yourself in a foreign country. You're sipping espresso in Paris, taking selfies at the Colosseum, or hiking through the Swiss Alps. And let's be honest, those trips are incredible, but they can also feel really intimidating if you're new to solo travel, or if your lifestyle doesn't allow for that kind of time or financial commitment. The truth is, solo travel doesn't have to look like that. It's not about how far you go or how fancy your destination is. It's about the experience of carving out space for yourself and exploring something new and connecting with your surroundings. So let's bust that myth right here. You don't need to quit your job or spend thousands of dollars to call yourself a solo traveler. Smaller solo trips can be just as impactful. With a smaller trip, you don't need to plan months in advance. Want to take a spontaneous weekend getaway? You can. Maybe there's a nearby city you've always wanted to visit or state park you've been meaning to explore. Smaller trips let you be flexible with your time and schedule. Shorter trips are also way more budget friendly. You don't need a passport, a big savings account, or even a week off to make it happen. A day trip to a neighboring town, a weekend in a cozy Airbnb, or even a staycation with a twist can be enough to recharge your batteries. Solo travel, no matter the length, teaches you independence, resourcefulness, and how to enjoy your own company. Even a simple day trip can help you practice navigating unfamiliar places or trying new things on your own. These smaller experiences can build confidence and make you more comfortable with the idea of traveling solo. Here are some tips to get you started solo traveling. Choose a destination close to home. Pick somewhere that's easy to get to, maybe within a few hours drive or a short flight. The goal is to minimize travel time so you can maximize your experience. Pack light. For a short trip, you don't need to overpack. A small suitcase or backpack is all you need. Trust me, traveling light makes everything easier, especially if you're navigating public transportation or exploring on foot. Focus on 1 or 2 activities. Don't try to do all the things on a short trip. Pick 1 or 2 you really want to enjoy, like hiking a trail, visiting a museum, or simply relaxing at a coffee shop. Embrace spontaneity. One of the joys of solo travel is being able to change your plans on a whim. With a smaller trip, you don't need a packed itinerary. Leave room for serendipity. A few solo trips that I've taken are, I've went to New York for a few days. I went to Tampa. I went to Fort Lauderdale. I live in a cold climate, and sometimes I just want to get away for a few days, enjoy the sun, the sand, the beach. So I went down to Florida for a few days and just walked around, ate some good food, went to the beach, just explored around the town, and it was so fun. I love going on solo trips because you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. You're not on someone else's schedule. And New York, I've always wanted to go to New York, so I just went there for a few days. It doesn't have to be this big, extravagant, like expensive trip. I stayed in a hostel close in the Chelsea neighborhood. It was a really good neighborhood. The hostel was clean, and I walked around. looked at some shops, I ate food, I went to museums, I went to the park, walked around Times Square, just enjoyed the day to myself. If you've been dreaming of solo travel but feel overwhelmed by the idea of a big, extravagant trip, I want to encourage you to start small. Take a weekend for yourself, book a cabin in the woods, visit a nearby city, or even play tourist in your own town. The beauty of solo travel isn't in how far you go, it's in the time you take to connect with yourself, learn something new, and recharge. Remember, it's not about the length or the destination, it's about the intention behind the trip and the growth that happens along the way. Thanks so much for tuning in to Passport Meets World. I hope this episode has inspired you to embrace the beauty of small adventures and take that first step for solo travel, no matter how small it might feel. I'd love to hear about your solo travel experiences or plans. Connect with me on social media. Don't forget to follow, turn on the notification bell, leave a review. It really helps other people find the podcast. Share it with a friend or someone who might just need a little travel inspiration. Until next time, happy travels, and remember, even the smallest adventure can lead to the biggest transformation. Thank you for joining me on this journey through solo travel and self-discovery. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to follow, share, and leave a review to help more travelers find their way here. Remember, every trip you take, whether across the world or within yourself, is a step toward becoming who you're meant to be. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep chasing those moments that make life truly extraordinary. Safe travels.